One day, y'all, I'm just laying on my bed, I'm looking at TV, and the toilet seat, I hear the toilet seat close.
I don't know, like, I'm here playing this game. I've been hearing fucking noise all day long, and I've been sitting right here. I ain't move. Yeah, all you gotta do is just talk nicely and let her know she can't be there. I understand you came with the chair, but you can't stay here. You gotta go.
Severe, then get back at it again. I said it twice, I hope you got it. I won't say it again. Talk to him. I got a podcast for that. Wanna talk business? I got contracts for that. Hey, 99 problems, got one answer for that. God, it's gonna work out. I drop gems just for that. Yeah.
What's good, Candy Cane Gang? Gang. It's your girl Kane. What's good, y'all? What's poppin'? What's crackin'? How you doing? How you been? It's another story time. This story takes place in Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York. So those of you that know me, I got a lot of people up here that actually know me from the hood. Y'all know exactly what projects I was staying in. So we lived on the last floor in this building. I want to say I was about 17 or 18 around this story time, y'all, when this incident took place. It was around the time when my grandmother had passed away. Her passing away kind of hit me kind of hard, y'all, because I was very close to my grandmother. My grandmother stayed in the Bronx, Eden Wall. I used to go there from Brooklyn to the Bronx just to go to the store for my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? And I would go spend time with my grandmother on the weekends, or, you know, sometime I would go stay for a while with her, whatever. But I was really close to her. Her passing away kind of hit me kind of hard, okay? So we went to her funeral and everything. That was the worst experience I've ever experienced. That was actually like the first funeral that I ever went to, honestly. The worst. When I say the worst, I mean like people, experiencing people fighting over her stuff. People just doing grimy things, okay? Family, supposed to be family. So after being in the Bronx, y'all, for all them days and them weeks after her funeral, we all came back home. Me, my mother, my father, and my 5 other siblings. We were all staying in a 3-bedroom apartment on the 7th floor in this building. So y'all, I was a homebody teenager at some point. That's before I experienced going out to clubs and all that shit, okay? So I would be home, and this is during the Richard era. This is around the time when I met Richard, okay, because I was around 17, 18, right? So me and Richard were like just starting our relationship. So we would be texting, calling. Mama can't gonna see this, so she gonna know. Richard would sneak to the house when everybody was gone. So like my father would be at work, my mother's at work, siblings at school. I was going to college around this time, New York City Tech, okay? So on the days that I didn't have class, I would have Richard come to the house, you know, and I would like make him lunch. We would sit and talk, you know, like just vibe. So y'all, it was this one particular morning, and I want to say maybe a week after my grandmother's funeral, I had woke up. Okay, like I was the first one woke in my room. I shared the room with my sisters, okay? So I would be the first one in the room woke, y'all. I would wake up early. And I just remember waking up this one morning to a bright ass room. I mean bright. The way our windows were situated and living on the last floor, the sun would shine so bright inside of our room during the morning times. So I open up my eyes and I'm just like, okay, the shade in our room was all the way up. Now y'all know how these project windows are. They come with shades. The shades that, you know, you pull it down or you do like this and it'll go all the way up. It wasn't the Venetian blinds, okay? I wake up and I'm just like, what the hell? Like the blind is all the way up, y'all. Like the window is exposed. 2 windows together. I sit up on my bed and I'm just looking like, what's going on here? So then my sister, I had 2 sisters, they're twins. They were sleeping on bunk beds on the other side of the room. So my sister that's on the top bunk, She sits up and she's like,
why is the shade up? Why did you pull the shade up like that?
like she instantly thinks that I did it because I'm just sitting up on the bed. So I'm like, I didn't lift no shade up. Like I literally just woke up and this how the shade was. So my other sister on the bottom bunk is like,
So who will open it?
so I'm like, I don't know. So y'all, we all get off the bed and we leave the room because now we're just like, we don't know who would open up the shade. So I go to my brother's room because my brothers at the time, they like to do pranks and things on us. So I open up their room door, and y'all, their room door didn't have a doorknob, okay? The door was reinstalled, like maintenance came and reinstalled the door, and they didn't put the doorknob on the door. So their room door would have a rag in the door, like to close the door. So I pushed the door open, y'all, and they knocked out sleep, like gone, okay? And this is like a weekend too. So my sister, we're just gonna call her Tay. She's just like,
So maybe mommy or dad open the shade, It's no big deal.
so she goes in the bathroom. Y'all, I wasn't feeling right. It was this weird feeling that I was getting, and I'm just like, something is just off. Like, it was a weird feeling, y'all. I didn't even want to go back into the room at this point. My mother's in the kitchen. My father was at work. So I go into the kitchen. I'm like, Ma, did you pull the shade up in our room? My mother is like,
No,
well, the shade was up in our room. She's like,
I know.
so y'all, the shades was up in the whole entire apartment. In the living room, my mother's room, and our room. Okay? So I'm like, so the shades, who lifted the shades up? Like, was it daddy? Because, he leaves early to go to work. He was working in the Bronx. So my mother was like,
No, he's the one that discovered it because he got up early.
the window shade thing was taking place like every other morning. Okay? And we was not understanding what the was going on. It was scaring me, but it wasn't scaring me. Now here's where things get really, really scary. One day, and y'all know every time it's one motherfucking day, it's some bullshit. I'm at the house alone, okay? I didn't have class this particular day. So I'm washing clothes, drying clothes, I'm cleaning up my, the room or whatever. And I notice every time I go in the kitchen to check the temperature on the dryer, like the knob was turned to something different. So at some point I'm like, I'm thinking it's me because I'm not paying attention. Like I'm on my phone and I'm doing this. So I need to put the phone down and pay attention. So I turns the knob back to the correct temperature and I walks out. So when I go into the room, y'all, it's quiet. I'm looking on my phone. I'm leaning on my dresser and I'm looking on my phone. And I could have literally sworn that I heard the dryer knob make the noise. So like when you turn the knob on the dryer, it would make this ticking sound, okay? I could have sworn I heard the ticking sound. But once again, I don't want to feel like I'm bugging the fuck out. So I'm just like, nah, that's not what I heard. And I just go back to my phone. When I go back to the kitchen, the knob is on a different setting again. So I'm like, takes the clothes out. I'm like, all right, the jeans is halfway dry. I'm going to just take them out. I'm going to hang them on a hanger, hang it in the bathroom. Because at this point, I don't know what the fuck's going on, okay? And I don't got time for it. So, y'all, this particular day, too, I had invited Richard to come to the house, so he could have lunch on his lunch break. So, Richard sends a text and was like, I'm on my way. I'm leaving the job now. I'm on my way there. Like I told y'all, Richard worked in Brownsville, and he wasn't too far from my building. So I'm like, all right, cool. So y'all, I took a shower, I got dressed, okay, got myself cute, and I'm in my room. I'm in my room, y'all. My door is open. I'm standing at this dresser once again, like I'm just on my phone or whatever, and I hear my mother's room door open. Now, I'm home alone. I am alone, okay? There's nobody there. Nobody. My mother's bedroom door had this very like loud ass sound. Whenever you would open up her door, it would make this loud sound. It was almost like the door didn't fit in the door frame. So just imagine a door that's closed that doesn't fit in the frame, and when you open it, it's like this like this loud noise, something like that. I'm standing at my dresser and I hear that noise. Okay? So I'm like, I'm stuck, like froze in time, like, and I instantly started getting goosebumps. So I'm just like, is that my mother's door? So y'all, I peek out the room and I'm just looking. I'm like, so I'm like, Ma, Daddy. I'm just calling everybody's name, like, and nothing. I don't hear, nobody's not responding. So I'm just like, what the fuck? So y'all, I comes out the room now and I'm getting ready to walk towards my mother's room, y'all, and the door is opening. So y'all, I turn around and ran. I hauled ass into my room, closes my door and locks it. And then I can hear my brother's door opening. Now remember I told y'all they had like a washcloth in their door. So you would have to like push their door really hard. And I heard their door opening, y'all. So I'm just like, what the fuck? Oh my God. I'm terrified. I'm terrified. So Richard calls my phone now and he's like, yo, I'm downstairs. The lobby door is closed. I can't get in the building. So I'm just like, oh my God. Like, okay. I'm having a situation. So he's like, what? What's going on? I'm like, no. I'm here by myself, but I'm hearing noises like doors opening and stuff. Like, I'm really, really scared. So he's like, doors opening and you there by yourself? You sure you by yourself? Nobody's not playing a trick on you? I'm like, I'm here by myself. He's like, come downstairs and let me in. So I'm just like, you can't wait until somebody let you, like somebody come out the building and let you in, and then like, I still gotta get in the house, so you still have to come out of the room. So y'all, somebody ends up coming out the building, and he gets in. He comes upstairs and now he's knocking on the door. I'm like, oh my God. So now he's calling my phone. So I'm like, yeah, you gotta let me in, come to the door. So I'm like, I am scared to leave this room. I was scared, I was terrified, y'all. Terrified. So he's like, so how am I supposed to get in to help you? I have no way to get in to help you. Alright. He's like, keep me on the phone. Like, just open the door and just run by real quick and come to the door. So y'all, I did that. I opened up the room door. I turns and I looks. My brother's door is wide open. Okay. I'm running past my mother's room. Her door is wide open. And I runs to the front. Now the whole time I'm running past these rooms, I'm feeling like a very strong nauseous feeling. Okay. Like at the pit of my stomach. So I go to the front door. I open up the door, y'all. Richard comes in and he takes his book bag off and he's walking through the house. Like he goes into the living room trying to act like he was Superman or something, okay? So he goes to the living room. He goes to my mother's room. He's looking at my mother's closet. He's looking under the bed. Then he comes out of there. He goes into my room. Then he comes out. He goes to my brother's room. He's looking in the closet and he's like,
that's crazy. Nobody's here.
Duh, I literally just said this to you on the phone. So he's like,
you sure? Like,
I'm like, bro, this door was closed. My mother's door was closed. My mother always closed her door when she leaves to go out to work. And my brother, she closes my brother's door. So y'all, I'm just like, I don't want to stay here. Like, we can go out to eat or something for lunch. Like, I don't want to be in this house. So he's like,
nah, we good. I'm here with you. Like, you gonna be good.
I'm like, no, I want to go. Because that feeling, that nausea, dizzy feeling, I was having it. And it was real, real strong. So he's like, all right. We ends up leaving, okay? When I got back home, I waited for my mother and my siblings. I waited for everybody, okay? It got to the point, y'all, where I would add different classes now onto my schedule when I was going to City Tech. I'm just like, I don't need no off days. None. I need every single day to be filled up, or I'm going to find me, like, a job or something. So I'm waiting now for my mother to get off. I'm waiting for my brothers. I'm waiting for everybody. Finally, everybody is going upstairs at one time, okay? I'm just excited. I'm like, thank God, because I don't want to be in that house by myself. So my mother, she's on the phone. She's unlocking the door, opens up the door. As soon as my mother walks in, she says,
"What the fuck is my doing out of the closet?"
So I'm like, I'm pushing my siblings out the way. I'm like, damn, y'all taking forever to get in the house. So I'm pushing them out the way. I'm like, what stuff? Y'all, it was a bottle of alcohol. It was like towels. It was lotion. It was like mad stuff from the linen closet. And it was just on the floor in the hallway. So I'm like, I don't know. So she's like,
Did you knock this stuff down?
I'm like, no, when I left, it was nothing on the floor. Nothing.
So how did the stuff get out the closet?
I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if my mother believed me or not, but why would I take stuff out of the closet and store it on the floor? Like, that isn't making sense to me. So listen, we ends up getting a dog, okay? And I was so happy when my mother finally listened to my brothers. My brothers is like, oh, let's get a dog. We're going to take care of the dog. We're going to walk it. We're going to feed it. We're going to this. We're going to that. So my mother was like, all right, as long as y'all keep your side of the bargain, it's fine. We goes to the animal shelter on Linden Boulevard, okay, in Brooklyn. And we adopts our dog, Lacey. God bless her soul. So Lacey, Killer L, because that's what people in the hood was calling her, because she did not play with us. She did not want nobody coming around us with no bullshit, okay? I've had the dog. I had the dog mostly all day long. On the days where I was off work, the days I was off of school, the day I would walk her before I went to school, before I went to work, when I came home, and especially when I'm there in that apartment by myself, I made sure this dog, I had on a leash walking through the house with her. So y'all, it's just one particular day, since the dog had been there, the weird stuff wasn't really happening as much. Like one day, y'all, I'm just laying on my bed, I'm looking at TV, and the toilet seat, I hear the toilet seat close. The toilet seat closes, like, okay? The dog jumped up because she was laying on the side of my bed. She jumped up, okay? Runs out the room. So I sit up mad quick and spint around. I'm looking like, what the fuck is that? Because once again, it's just me and this dog in the house. So the dog Lacey, she's barking, going crazy. So I go to the door and she's barking at my brother's room door. So I'm like, Lacey, come on. So she turns around and runs into the room, and I close the door. So I sends Richard a text. I'm like, yo, like some weird shit just happened. Richard's like, what? I'm like, the toilet seat just went down and Lacey went crazy, like, but she's not barking at the bathroom. She's barking at the bedroom, my brother's room door. So he's like, yo, it's some weird shit going on in that house. So y'all, it gets more weird. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward now. So it's one day, y'all, I'm at school. I come home. My brother is home. My brother was supposed to be home sick, but he was playing a video game, like going in on the game. So I'm like, damn, I thought you was sick. He's like,
yeah, at some point I start feeling better.
Like, he didn't even look at me. He's glued to the screen. So y'all, I walk past the kitchen and I back up, and the chairs at the table is like out from the table, like they're out. I'm gonna see if I can get him to watch this video so he can comment and tell y'all. So I'm like, yo, I go back to live. I'm like, yo, why is the chairs like that in the kitchen? He's like,
I don't know, like, I'm here playing this game. I've been hearing fucking noise all day long, and I've been sitting right here. I ain't move.
So I'm like, the chairs, like, I'm just stuck on the chairs not being by the table, y'all. So My brother just was like,
Like, yeah, you know, I've been hearing noise all day.
so I go to the back to my room. The picture that's hanging up on the wall in the hallway, that's on the floor. My brother was like,
I told you I've been hearing noise all day. So that picture came off the wall, the chairs in the kitchen, just like, I don't know what's going on, but this where I've been in the living room.
later on that night, y'all, we trying to tell my mother, like, listen, it's something spooky going on with this fucking apartment out of nowhere. Like, we wasn't experiencing any of this, y'all. Any of this until after my grandmother's funeral. So at some point, I'm thinking it's my grandmother, but I'm like, nah, like, she wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, but y'all, I don't know if my mother was believing in it. My aunt was even telling her, like,
You need to listen to them kids. Like, some you could have people walking around in that house, you know, and they're fucking with the kids only, and that's why y'all not seeing it. You and Daddy King, y'all not seeing it because they messing with the kids.
it was one day, y'all, my brother had got in trouble. This is the same brother that was playing the game. So my brother walks to the door, like, my room was here and my brother's room was here. It's like side by side. So my brother's walking towards his room. He stops right by my door and he's like,
It's always something. I'm always getting in trouble. Like, it don't make no sense.
so I'm like, just let it go. Like, let it go. So y'all, I comes out the room and I'm going into the linen closet to get something out of the linen closet. And my brother goes into the room and the book bags, they had a spot in their room right by the door. When they would come from school, they would take their book bags off and lay it there, okay? This is how my mother had it set up. The book bags flew from that area into the middle of my brother's room. So my brother's like,
Yo, did you see that?
I'm like, yes, I did. Like, it was like somebody took their arm and went, like, slapped the bags, y'all. So my mother comes out the room and she's like,
What are you yelling for? What are you yelling for?
so my brother was like,
Ma, look at the book bags. Look at the book bags. Who did that? Who would do that?
so my mother looks at me. I'm like, I seen it. Like, the bags flew. Y'all, flew. Like somebody just, whoo. So she goes and picks the bags up and she puts it back up there. But she's not saying nothing. So my brother's like,
Yo,
I'm just like, here is where my mother finally says something, y'all. And every last one of us, down to Daddy Kane, experienced it. We all seen it at the same damn time, y'all. We all inside my mother's room and we was watching a movie. So it's a certain part of the movie. My father was cooking dinner, okay? He comes to the room and he's like,
damn. So this, that, and the third.
like we talking about the movie. He had the faucet running in the kitchen, y'all. The sink is on. So he sits down and he's watching the movie. Like, he's glued to the screen. And my mother is like,
Daddy King, you left the water on?
he's like,
Yeah, damn. I'm gonna turn it off when it goes to commercial.
right? So my mother was like,
One of y'all run real quick and turn the water off.
before any of us can get up, we heard the water slowly being turned off. Y'all, my father turned around and looked at my mother, and my mother's looking at me. And she looks at my sister, and my brother says,
Somebody turned the water off.
my mother says,
I know that.
y'all, it was at that moment when I knew I had to get the out of that apartment. I had to get out of there. I had to go. Because I'm just like, yo, like, this is what me and my brother was trying to tell y'all. This is what we was trying to tell y'all. Like, what is happening in this apartment? Like, what's happening here? So my father is scared. He's scared to go in the kitchen. He's like,
What the fuck? The water turned off by itself.
like, he's just losing it. So my mother gets up, my mother goes in the kitchen and she's looking. Like, the faucet was off. Off. Somebody had turned it off. So y'all, we was talking to one of my aunts, God bless her soul, and she's very, very, in tune. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's like,
You got people in there. And it's more than one.
I was afraid. It's just like, and I had this vanity. My mother gave me this vanity, y'all. I would have all my perfumes, my jewelries, my sunglasses up on this thing. So my mother had this friend that lived in the building, like a floor below us. She had bought me a graduation gift, okay, and it was bracelets. It was like these bracelets, colorful looking bracelets, and they had gold on it. She had got it from Macy's. So I took the bracelets. I wore them like to match my outfits. I would pick a certain color, wear with a certain outfit. I took the bracelets out of the box. Like, the bracelets came in this fancy box. So I took the bracelets out. I set it on my vanity, and the bracelets was stacked. It was probably like 12 bracelets, y'all, okay? And I had them stacked on the vanity. Every night, y'all, I would hear these bracelets being moved around on my vanity. Like, I would turn into a freaking cardboard. That's how stiff I would keep my body. Like, I slept with the cover over my head for years because I was afraid. I told y'all I sleep with night lights and stuff. Like, I ain't messing with the dark. We ended up moving out of that apartment, and I was so fucking happy. I moved out first. I moved into my own place, okay, and that's the apartment in Crown Heights. I was so happy, but I was still kind of traumatized. It's like when I moved into, the studio apartment in Crown Heights, I was scared to be alone. Like, I'm just like, somebody come spend the night with me because I'm here by myself. I'm scared. I ended up getting a cat, sassy cat. But, my siblings would come, all of them, and they would spend the night. My mother would come, like, my father would come. But y'all, like I said, they ended up moving out of that apartment. And they ended up moving into a different apartment on the other side. And it was like kind of the same thing going on. It was one night, y'all. My father kept complaining that somebody was touching him whenever he goes to the bathroom. So we just like, touching you. He's like,
Yeah, like somebody touching my back, touching my shoulder. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Got me ready to just not go to the bathroom.
So I'm telling my brothers, I'm like, yeah, did y'all hear what Daddy was saying? And my brother was like,
Boy, yeah, I heard it.
so y'all, we ended up getting a cat, Molly. God bless her soul. Molly was like a bobcat mix. She was a tortoiseshell and bobcat mix. So Molly liked to bounce like a spring. She would run, jump up, and spring, okay? And like spring off the wall, or she would jump up and spring off your back. So one night, my father's going to the bathroom, and I had spent the night at my mother's house. Molly was running through the house this same night, and she jumped up and sprang off my father's back. And that almost sent my father to the hospital. Like, he already thought that somebody was touching on him when he goes to the bathroom. But this, and it sent him, okay? So we later discovered that it was the cat. The other three to four times, we don't know it. This particular time, it was the cat. Because when we came out the room from him screaming, it was Molly the cat. But there was another incident in this new apartment. We had, I had came over, and my brother was in the living room. So I'm like, where's mommy? And my brother was like,
I think she's in the kitchen.
now this apartment was way bigger than the apartment we had on the 7th floor. And this apartment was like on the bottom level, first floor. The apartment had a kitchen. It's like a separate kitchen. Then it had like a sit-in dining room, okay? Then it was this long-ass hallway, my mother's room. Then it was a linen closet. Then it was another linen closet. And then it was my sister's room, my brother's room, my other sister's room, and then my brother's room, and then the bathroom, okay? So I'm walking to the dining room, and I hear humming, like singing like. So I turn my head, look in the kitchen, and it's nobody there. So I go to the living room. I'm like, yo, it's nobody in the kitchen. My brother says,
His mommy's not in there?
me and him end up going outside. Because it's, like, what? So my mother gets home. We're telling my mother. And my mother later tells us that she heard the humming as well in the kitchen. So y'all, we ends up getting Tiny, okay? Tiny was my brother's cat that we had found at my apartment in Carl Heights. So it's Molly and Tiny now, the two house cats. Molly and Tiny would just roam at nighttime, all right? They would be play fighting, running through the house, just exploring what cats do. Even though I moved out, I was still in my mother's house heavy. So I'm there in my mother's house, and I'm in my sister's room, me and my sister vibing or whatever. And my brother comes and taps on my sister's door. So she gets up and opens up the door. It's probably like 1, 2 in the morning, y'all. My sister gets up, opens up the door, and my brother come running in, pushes her out the way and closes the door. He's like,
yo, I just seen some weird shit up there in the front of the fucking house.
So my sister was like,
What? What did you see?
He's like,
yo, the cats, Molly and Tiny, they jump behind a shopping cart and they shake it. They scared to come out.
So I'm like, what? What, you scared them?
Like, no, I'm scared too.
So I'm like, what did you see? He goes to tell me that he seen a ghost. He seen it. And the cats seen it. And the cats ran from it too, y'all. So I'm just like, if cats is running from that type of stuff, that means it's not a good spirit at all. So my brother was like,
I don't know, but I'm just letting y'all know. And I'm not going to sleep. I'm not.
So I'm like, okay, neither am I. So we actually sat up, y'all, like we broke day because I couldn't wait. We couldn't wait to tell my mother. So we tell my mother, and my mother, once again, is like, she's seen some things too. So I'm just like, yo, like, what is going on with these apartments and these damn projects? Like, but I was figuring it out, because when we was living in the other building, the neighbor on the first floor had passed away, y'all. And she stayed in that apartment for hours. She had passed away sitting in her chair, and it was like the police and everything was there, like guarding the apartment off. And you could see like the shadow of her at nighttime sitting in the chair. And then finally the coroners came late at night to take her out of there. And you know what housing did? They just painted, disinfect, and move somebody else in. So I'm just like, yeah, that's my story about, paranormal activity living in the projects when I was, younger in age. This next story, y'all, is from here in Florida. Me and Judo. So y'all, when me and Judo first moved into our apartment, that's the first slumlord, okay? When we first moved into that apartment, we didn't have no furniture, okay? Like I have this habit, like wherever I move to, I start all over again with furniture and everything, okay? I think this is the first apartment where I actually kept my bed, this one that I'm in. And it was because I just bought it. So moving from Georgia to here, all we had was like our clothes, pictures, our cats. We didn't have no furniture. So when we was driving from Dollar Tree, I seen like this little thrift store. So I'm like, oh, let me check the thrift store out. I like to go to the thrift stores. I think I told you that. That's what I was doing with Bum Ass Row. So we find this thrift store. Me and Judo, we go to the thrift store. We looking in there. And we end up seeing this chair in there. So I'm like, excuse me, how much is the chair? So the lady is like,
oh, we're having a sale today. I can give you the chair for $2.
So I'm like, $2? You got another one? She's like,
no, that's the only one. But if you see, another chair, anything like that, or just a chair, I can give it to you. Two of the chairs for $4.
I'm like, So we looking around. There was no more chairs. Okay, the guy was like, some lady came and she bought all the damn chairs. Now this chair was brown wood, and the seat was like a thick cushion, and it was like the PU leather, you know, like the faux leather, and it was like a light brown. And then the back part of the seat, the, you know, for your back, it was the thick cushion too, same color. And it had like these big ass, like hard, like these nails in them. Okay, it was a nice looking chair, vintage looking. So I got the chair, we put it in our truck, and we drove home. So Judo began to sit on the chair. All right, it became his chair. Once we started getting furniture, that became his chair. He sat in the sunroom with it. He turned the sunroom into like his man cave. So that was his chair. I painted the chair and everything. I think when I first started this YouTube channel, I had did a video of me painting the chair with his face on it. Okay, this is the chair right here. I'm trying to decide, like, I think I'm gonna get into like pure artist mode. I'm about to paint this chair. So the brown wooden part, I think I'm gonna do it black, and the seat part and the back part, I'm gonna do it white, and the bolts, these bolts right here, these, I'm gonna make these either silver or gold. I don't know, but I want y'all to be on the camera with me while I'm doing it. First, before I even do that, I need to go wash my face because I don't know what is in my eye. Do y'all see anything? Like this one would be the easiest one. This is his face, y'all. When he did AI. I think this is the picture that I'm gonna use. I didn't rinse it off. This is the chair. I'm not finished yet, but this is what I got so far. So yeah, I customized the chair. I painted it, turned the, you know, the seat part white. I painted this chair, whatever. The chair is there in the house. After, you know, my daughter had passed away, it was a lot of weird shit going on at this house, y'all. We ended up finding out it was a host of things going on, but the main thing that was happening was we went to this Botanica up in Wilton Manors, y'all, and we found this man, and it was his shop. He's very, very known all over the place for his, you know, his skills and his work. So I'm not gonna call him a warlock because he's very nice, okay? And he did not believe in doing work to harm people. So we sitting there, we're talking to him, and this man is like,
You brought a piece of furniture in your house that came, like the furniture came from a funeral home, and the chair is why you having problems in your house. Like the chair came with some people.
so I'm like, now Judo turned and looked at me. He's like,
Furniture.
so he's immediately thinking it's the living room set, because we got the living room set from this rich couple that lived in Sunny Isles in Miami. So I'm like, the lady literally said that they had the couch for like a month. They had the living room set for a month, okay? It was no stains, nothing on the couch. The couch was literally brand new. So the guy was like,
No, it's not a couch. Like, it's got wood on it, whatever it is.
it was this freaking chair, y'all. It was this chair. So he's giving us all this stuff. He's like,
You gotta smoke the spirit out of your house. You gotta let the spirit know she can't stay there.
so I'm like, she. He's like,
Yeah, it's a woman.
y'all, it was bad enough like me and this man was going through it, okay? So the guy was like, he don't really believe in sage. Like, he likes the Palo Santo. He don't really like the sage. You know, like, he was giving us the history behind sage. So he's like, but if you want to use the sage, it's up to y'all. But I personally don't like it. So I'm like, so what do you suggest? So he showed us, you know, a caldron, all right? And we got these little black round things, and we put it in it, light it, and we was smoking the house, okay? Like, kind of like how the Pope, the thing that the Pope be walking around with, we just smoking his house out, y'all. And he's telling us what to say. This was before I became, like, really in tune with the other side of, you know, the other world. So the guy was like,
yeah, all you gotta do is just talk nicely and let her know she can't be there. I understand you came with the chair, but you can't stay here. You gotta go.
So how I knew the man wasn't lying, because he knew where this chair was sitting, how it was situated in our house and everything. So he's like, after you smoke the house out, you're going to take the chair and lay it on the floor to where like nobody can sit on it. And I've always been like this in my life, y'all. Chairs, even on my dining room table, they have to be under the table, because when you leave your chairs open, like turned and open, you're leaving it open for guests. And I'm not talking about guests you invite. Guests. So y'all, we would smoke this house out every single night, and then I would go to my mother's house, because I'm like, I don't want to stay in the house. Once somebody says to me, this is going on in your house, I don't even feel comfortable. I don't want to be there. And that's literally what was going on. So I was just so glad to get out of that apartment, y'all. I was so glad. Like, I don't even think y'all understand. But ever since that incident, y'all, that's when I moved, okay? This other apartment, Termite Town, I have experienced, you know, some paranormal stuff there. It's been times where I was recording a video for y'all, and as I'm sitting down and I'm editing the video, I can hear in the video like somebody whispering, like talking. And I let mad people hear, and they was like, yo. I let Judo hear. Judo was like, what the fuck? That's from here? I'm like, yeah. So if I could find it, because I had sent it to a lot of people, I can go into the messages and like get the clips out and put it up there and let y'all hear it. Last couple of weeks, okay? But I had met somebody else, and I kind of voiced that to Josh. But yeah, y'all, I just wanted to, you know, I wanted to do that story time. So if you like this story time, give this video a thumbs up and leave some comments. If you didn't like this story time, you already know the routine. I don't give a damn, but hit that like button and get your ass out of here. So wherever you at in this crazy ass world, because we know this world is crazy and it's not going to change. If you at the store, if you taking your kids to school, if you getting your nails done, you getting your hair cut, whatever you doing during the day, just turn to the person that's near you and say, yo, don't forget. They're gonna be like, don't forget what? Don't forget to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell another motherfucking friend that Mrs. Kane is on a motherfucking tube. Peace. I love y'all, and y'all be safe.
It's gonna work out. I drop gems just for that. Yeah.